Hi again. This time we're going to just talk about doing a plain old row. We're kind of near the end of the piece here. We did our previous video, we showed how to get started. Once you're started and you're going down a row, your goal is to put 2 half double crochet in every edge gap and then do the same corners we were doing earlier, which are 2 half double crochet, 2 chain, 2 half double crochet. Now in both of these situations, we're going to catch yarn. We'll always catch a carried yarn on the edges, and we will sometimes do it on the corners. When we did the beginning, we didn't bother to do that, but eventually it's going to become necessary to start catching the corners. And I'll show you what I mean when we get there. But first, let's worry just about doing this row. We've already come around this corner. We've already done 2 rows, 2 sides of this pattern here. This is what we're working on. We're almost to the edge, and you can see we did like 2 whites and then a brown and then a white and then a brown and then a white and then a brown and then a white, white, and then brown, brown. So that's what we've done. We've done this much, okay? We're right here about to go across. Every edge is the same, so we're just doing the same thing again. We have to do 2 white stitches. So we're going to do 2 half double crochet in this gap right here, but not this gap. We're going to go through this gap and pick up that yarn right there. Okay, every single time we do an edge stitch, we're going to pick up that yarn. So we've got both the gap and that little picked up yarn, and we do a stitch, and you can see the yarn being dragged up from the previous row. This is, you have to always carry your yarn so that you can always pick up your yarn, so that each row kind of gets dragged down to the one before it. Do you see how this stitch is literally on top of this stitch, and you don't see any carried yarns going across here because they're hiding inside? That's the whole point of this stitch, is to hide those things so we can make a high quality, high color changing piece. Okay, so anyway, I grabbed that yarn. I'm going to go in here again with my second half double crochet, and now in the next gap, 2 half double crochets. I gotta catch that yarn, and only that yarn. Don't catch down here this other stitch. Catch just that carried yarn, and be careful not to twist your stitches. Split your stitches. And now I'm going to change colors. We already saw how to do that. We bring the old color to the front. The new color we pick up and pull through. And then, do you see how this leg gets a little loose here? I like to pull the old color to make sure that that leg is good. Okay, so now we have to do 1 of the color stitches. So we're going to do a cluster in this gap, catching that yarn, and do 2 half double crochets, and I need to change colors again. This is a very fiddly row, so I once again have to pick up the new color and tighten that leg. Again, I'm catching that carried yarn. See, it's right there on top. It's brown right now. And okay, get my white. And then, oh, this is an extraordinarily fiddly row, so I have to change colors again to the other color. You got to make sure that not only is your tension good, that it's like the brown's not pulling and making it tight like this, but also you don't want a big piece of brown hanging out like a big loop. So you have to constantly look at that. And yeah, why does it look not right? It doesn't look right to me. Oh. Let's just do that again just in case, because maybe I messed it up. So sorry about that. I mean, the point of this piece is quality, not quantity, right? So often granny square projects are about making a lot of squares very, very fast. And that is not the point here. We're trying to make something that's going to go in an art exhibit, and everybody's pieces are going to look good together, and it's going to look like super professional. So, you know, we have to do this thing about carrying the yarns and checking our tensions and making sure everything is super square. And you may find that you made a mistake, you know, a round or 2 back, and you should rip it out and do it again. I actually had to do a lot of practice pieces before I could make one that came out like a good square. Okay, that actually is a good segue into talking about how to make it look square. The tendency in this pattern is that the corners sometimes get too tall and fan out or curl up, and then the inside here can tend to bow in like this, like these are too short. So we're going to watch that tension two ways. We're looking to keep it square, watch the squariness, because we are going to block these, but we want it to look good even before blocking. One thing is we will make sure to make all the stitches in the middle, especially when we get to the later rounds like this one, sufficiently tall. So when you make a stitch, let's get my brown back here. I'm going to go in this gap. I'm going to catch that one piece of yarn. I don't want to make a tight stitch like this. I want to make a nice tall half double crochet stitch. I really concentrate on making, especially the stitches near the center, pretty tall. And you can see here, I just finished this stitch, which is bad because I need to switch to white. This happens to me like all the time. Have to undo it and put it in again. And this time, remember to switch to the white so I can start with white. Okay. So that's the first thing. I'm going to show you another thing, a way to cut down the size of the corner when I get to it. So we're going to make these tall and cut down the size of the corner. This will start becoming important about here in the work. You'll have to start doing this. And you know, your yarns are going to get twisty. It's not going to be fun unless you're mitigating that as you go. And what I usually do is just literally pick it up and let it twist itself out. And now we're good again. That comes from the way I'm pulling the yarn in front when we're changing colors, but we need to do that to make the stitches good. So here we're going to catch this yarn right here. We're going to go to the corner and show you the corner, and then maybe get to the other edge, and we'll just get to the other edge together. Oh, I need to do two of these, so I can do one and then catch that yarn right there. And two, and now I want to switch back to colors. And the reason this has to be pulled forward is that if you don't, there aren't enough legs on the back, like you aren't making the stitch correctly. So you have to pull that forward so that that back, that fourth leg in the back gets captured when you pull this through. Okay, this stitch is designed to have good color changes. The color change gets hidden inside the half double crochet. That leg gets captured. It's all good. Okay, so now we're at the corner, and normally we would just go right into this gap, but you can see like that is a really big gap right there, and our corners are going to get really tall if we do that. Every other stitch we've been catching a yarn, and we'd like to do that here too, but there isn't a yarn to catch, so we're going to make one to catch. And what I do is sort of go in between the two half double crochets, and I get any strand. It doesn't have to be the carried strand. It could be the main color strand. It doesn't matter. One though, not like two or three strands, but just one strand, and we catch that along with everything else. And that is going to keep our corner kind of close to, you know, to the previous corner instead of being like with a really huge gap. Okay, so we did two half double crochet, two chain, another two half double crochet, and now we have to switch color to be white again. Oops, I didn't do that very well. Let's just do it again. I mean, I really do a lot of my stitches again, and I don't like how that one is all poofed out like that. So we'll just go back to where we understand reality, which was right there at the end of our first two half double crochet cluster. And and we're not going to split the yarn. Okay, great. And then I'll do two chain and two half double crochet. And in the last one, we're going to change color to white. And this is basically where we started this video, one row back. Okay, you just have to keep checking that it's square. It shouldn't twist too much the way the granny squares do. You can see it twisting a little bit here, how this sticks out, but that is not going to be a problem. Because of the tightness of everything being held together with the carried yarn, it's really not going to twist the way a traditional granny square might twist. To finish this, I have to just go across this row here and then end by connecting to this. Then I'm start the next row by doing my 360 spin lazy half single crochet like I showed you in the other video. Anyway, this is how you keep going along a row, and I'll make other videos later. If people tell me they need another video for something, I'll be happy to make it. Okay, bye.